Hey guys, welcome back. As always, I'm more excited this time I upload one of my dumb videos. If you could, more than anything, drop me a line down in the comments and say what's up, what you're building, what you're breaking, you know, the fun stuff like that. Also, find us on Facebook. It's a Facebook group I started, and there's like 110 people in there, but it'd be great if you could join, and you could post your pictures, you could post videos. I got my messenger link, so you can send me direct messages. It's just a much easier platform to talk, and I already have Facebook, and most people already have Facebook on their phone, so instead of having like a Discord or something where it's a whole nother thing I gotta look at, it's just simpler for me. So if you guys go on there and you want to talk, awesome. If not, you always hit me up in the comments, and I try to respond to everybody. All right, guys, welcome back. It's a little later in the day. I had to go to visit with my daughter. This is the color, white and blue. I'm doing the little bit of like overspray. I didn't want to tape it off. I thought that kind of looked cool. Have that little bit of overspray. And then the forks are obviously white, so white and blue. And I got something special. This might turn a little yellow, but I'm not sure. We'll see how it comes out. Okay, so I just put the clear coat on it. Everything is just rattle can. I got a little blue and a little white left over. I used the brightest white I could possibly find. As you can probably see, it is not a bright white anymore. It's like a yellow green. The clear coat I used is a triple clear coat. It should stay glassy looking like this, hopefully. The bright white, that is now a little bit yellow green-ish color, should stay exactly like that with a super high gloss on it from the clear coat that I used. I do really like the way it looks already. Now, if you get really close, you can see the line. I didn't wet sand this. I wasn't doing a show quality paint by any means. I wasn't even really trying. I legitimately was just trying to get the old paint off and give the new paint a good tooth to stick to. Tooth meaning like sanding marks, so new paint has something to stick to and it's not just a clear finish. It gives it a much better grip. When it does cure, it attaches better. So the clear coat I already threw in the dumpster, and the other clear coat, green, yellow, fell in the dumpster. But this is what I used: Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover paint and primer. So it did cover very, very well, I'll be honest. And this is the blue, gloss deep blue 2x paint and primer by Rust-Oleum, and this is just a gloss white. I want a lot of sheen and shine, so I wanted a super duper 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 bright white base coat for where I did it, and then I sprayed it with the glow in the dark. What do you think about that, guys?
That is sick.
You like my new forks? Little marble action. And I think they might be glowing in the dark. Yeah, buddy. So it has the optimum reflection possibilities. I didn't spray it anywhere on the blue, obviously, because that would just make no sense. It wouldn't really work. Anywhere where there's white, glow in the dark. Glow in the dark. And that is literally $11 a can. I thought everything was $3. That was crazy expensive, I'm not gonna lie. But they do say it lasts 2 to 4 hours, I think, on the can, the glow, once it's charged up naturally light. This is the first time I'm ever using it, first time I've ever seen it. Spur of the moment thing here. Decided to do it like 11 and 12 o'clock last night, and I'm already on the last stage of paint and letting it dry. So considering I had a lot to do today, I'm already at this stage. All right, I will talk to you guys in a little bit, and as always, I'll keep you informed on what's going on. If you remember, I had this on the bike, and they were brandy new, and literally I rode it maybe 5 times. It broke. Now this has sealed bearings. This isn't it, but it looks just about the same as that. It was in here like that. Actually, on that. That's a sealed bearing. That's the problem I'm having with finding not the bearings, but the axle that goes in here. So what I did is I took a hub apart. This is a front hub, and here is a rear hub. The rear hub, once you take it apart, like you can see this one's still together on this part, but see how it's in there? Like that? See how the hub is like this? Well, you can beat that out. It's just press fit, and then the spokes, the thing that holds all the spokes is pressed over that, and that kind of caps it all off and holds it in there. See, this is the part that goes in there. It just comes right out. Okay, so now that you know all that and you're caught up to speed. I did this all last night, didn't record any of it, so I'm kind of just catching you up. I really want to use these rims. Why? Because they're freaking cool looking. And they're super sturdy. It's only a 3-spoke design, but I've used the Bikeberry 5-spoke ones and stuff, and I literally, on a test ride, ripped the hub off of all 5 spokes, brand new pair of rims with my first YD100. I'm not saying my YD100 is that powerful. I'm saying I'm fat, and it had more torque, basically stock, than those rims could handle, which is a joke, and I definitely don't trust it. In fact, just riding it, I could feel the front one kind of have a flex to it, which was very nerve-wracking. I do not recommend those rims. And there is knockoffs that are not Bikeberries, which Bikeberry is really technically just a knockoff. And they posted their name on top of a very crappy rim to begin with. So whatever. Anyway, I'm sidetracking here. The main thing is what I'm saying is I like these rims, and I want to use these rims. But I'm having major issues with getting an axle, mainly because I didn't really look. Second, they cost money. And third, we all know I'm cheap. I'm not going to do any of that because I'm cheap. And I like to fix things my way and do stuff my way. So all that being said, I took the front hub apart from a rim. I took the rear one apart also to see the difference in size. Now the ball bearings, they're all hardened steel. The smaller ball bearings that go to the front hub isn't going to make any difference for the amount of weight that it can handle. It's just they use a smaller hub on that. I can actually fit the hub in there. And now this is my idea. I want to fit this in here just like it is. I'm not going to wallow it out anymore. Get it centered nice because it fits in there just right. I'm going to put a bunch of JB Weld back in there and around this. Squish her in there. And that will hold on to this just perfectly. On the other side, just the same. This is set up for a rotor. I'll get to that in a second. That's one of the other reasons why I really want to run this wheel. So this is great too. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to fill this all in with JB Weld and on the back and make some counter sunk divot holes to hold the JB Weld tight. And then I'm going to just JB Weld that in there. So what this does for me, one, it lets me use the rims. Two, we all know I break axles pretty regularly. So this will allow me to switch out an axle at a moment's notice. With any standard basic axle, I would be able to transfer it over to quick release if I find one, or continue with the regular stock, just, you know, no quick release, regular nut on the axle, like that one right there. I can re-grease the bearings, I could service it, and as long as the JB Weld holds. Now I have quick weld, which is just a faster drying one, but it does have a slightly lower PSI right here at the top. It says 3,127 PSI. That means this has 3,100 and the regular JB Weld has a 5,400. So it's not double, but it's 2/3 stronger than the quick weld. It's just a different type of hardener. If you use the standard JB Weld, it's much stronger. So I'm going to use the standard one. It does take 24 hours to cure. Whatever, not really a big deal because, you know, I want it to last and be as strong as possible. So I'm going to run a stock rim in the back, the one for my red bike. I'll be running that regardless, so I'm not really stressing about the length of time. So I drilled them out and I made them M6. So now it's an M6 hole, end threads. You can see I'm screwed it all the way down. I also drilled them deeper. They're about down here now, and I threaded the entire thing. So originally, now this is not that long, but this is probably, I didn't measure it, probably inch and a half, this bolt I just put in here, this Allen headed bolt. Nice tight threads, thread pattern's great. Now these rims are aluminum and magnesium. If I take the shavings and I set it on fire, it will catch on fire. It's really interesting stuff. But now this accepts M6. Before it was, I think, M5 or M4, which was, you know, okay and standard pretty much on most stuff. I have the other one right here, which still has the stock size. I'm not going to change the front out because I don't have to put a sprocket on that. All in all, this is freaking awesome. I will be able to use my rims again that I bought, that I only used for a couple hours realistically before they broke. I'm upgrading. The biggest thing here is going to be the JB Weld with getting the race to be seated in here and held in well. So we're on the right path to having this thing really secure. I don't want to have another issue with wallowing out the holes and having stuff start flying off of me while I'm doing 30, 35 miles an hour, 40 possibly. So that's it. You're all caught up on what I was doing last night. So I'm going to start assembling, and I would like to have it a complete roller before the end of the day. And if at all possible, even possibly maybe, not a definite, but a definite maybe, have it be a motorized bike. Just something real quick. You can see I put grease in here. This is the boot, obviously goes down over top of that and covers it. I'll wipe off any excess. But that's where the plunger goes up and down. Same with this side. I actually forgot to put the grease on this side, so I'm going to take this side back out, put it back in, and redo it. But they were just a pair of shocks that were heavier duty for someone of my stature, and I just wanted a heavier duty spring. Now I don't have the spring in yet. It goes in there. The spring is on the ground. It's only one spring in one side, but it is a very heavy duty spring in comparison to what's on my red bike right now, PB Herman. Hey guys, I was in the process of putting my bike together, the blue and glow in the dark one, and I ran into this guy in the hallway who is the owner of this bike. His front the handlebar or the lever is broken, so I'm going to throw a new lever on there for him. Adjust the brakes because they're not right. The handlebars themselves were spinning. I already tightened that down, adjusted it where he likes it, and I'm just going to do a quick once over to make sure the brakes are good, tight, and stopping him so he can continue doing his wheelies. Let me go grab a new lever. Okay, got the new front brake lever for him. Alright guys, so I put the new handle on. You can see it's a much bigger handle, so that's good than the stock one, but it's aluminum, so that's good. Adjusted the brakes, adjusted the rear brakes. We're good, and this is whose bike it is. The kid that stole my bike.
No.
Alright, bud, go have fun, and I guess I'll talk to you later. Say bye to all the people.
Bye. Thanks.
No problem, man. Alright, guys, so basically, I needed to cut just a little bit off of this because I had too much thread, and the top nut, the cap nut that goes on top, has an inner ridge that I thought about just taking out of that and leaving a portion of the thread sticking up. However, that is not really the best way, in my opinion, because I don't want the thread sticking up. I'd rather have it all closed in. So what I'm doing is just cutting off about 1/4 inch. Honestly, I'm just doing it by eye. I'm going to do my best to make it as straight and level as possible. I left this on so I can unthread it and make sure I clear out the threads nicely, and then I'll go around and put a small chamfer around the whole edge so that I can thread the other nut on very simply, and this one because it's got to come off to get this back on. So just figured I'd touch base and let you see how it's looking, what I'm doing, and why I'm doing it. Alright, so I cut off the little piece, and now I'm just going to chamfer the edge. All chamfering the edges is just putting a little angle on it. You just want to make it so that the threads that are left will catch easily. Something else that I do to help, because the threads are going to be all marred up, clean it up a little bit with a brush just to get all the shavings off of it if you can. You screw this on before you do any cutting, so it's already on the good threads and everything's all pretty and nice. And then you can come over here, and when you get to this part, you unthread it. It's not getting any harder. Super easy. So that chamfer helped a lot. I could tell already just by the way it feels that the chamfer 100% helped. The big test is, though, once it's off, can we get it back on? That, and you heard that click? I'm going backwards. What it does is it lines up your threads for you. But there we go. That's why you always see me go backwards whenever I thread something on, especially something with like machine thread like this, or I'm just not sure, it's totally off. I don't just start trying to thread it on 90% of the time when it's something like this, because you'll end up messing the threads up, like they'll cross thread. So you'll always see me go backward until I feel a click in my hand or hear it, and it looks like the piece is lined up flush with the whatever you're putting on. It's, you know, parallel, perpendicular, whatever it is. There, that good click, all the threads lined up, and boom, threads right on. All right, I'm just touching base so you know where I am. The brakes on the front are Gucci. I did put my black mag wheels on because that's what I want to run on this bike. But for now, I'm just going to put the Steely on and it'll be fine. I put the side pull brake on that came with this bike. I'm super excited about this right now and how it's all going. I might actually throw on a rear rim. Let me do that really quick. If I do say so myself. That is freaking awesome. My goal is to make this a complete roller by tonight, where it's pedals, where I can pedal it and roll it as a pedal bike. But what we're doing out here is we're going to strip this one down so I can get rid of it. I don't want all this nonsense. Where I'm at is not a place I can keep nonsense, so I definitely need to get rid of this, take off what I need or don't need, and just get rid of the rest. And I'm going to put the seat on first so I can adjust the height of the handlebars. Go from there, get the front brakes hooked up, get the pedals on, and get the wheel on. And I'll tune back in as we get closer to doing stuff. All right, guys, I'm sorry, but it's really dark out. Nothing I can really do. But I just wanted to touch base so you guys could know where I'm at and what I'm doing. And yeah, what do you guys think about that? I'm gonna have to do it during the daylight, but I think you understand what I'm going for there. Yeah, that's glowing in the dark. Have everything I need to run the rear brake actually. Didn't realize that I forgot I actually put that on there, so I'm going to run that so I have a rear brake real quick, adjust the brakes so they're good. But other than that, it's good to go. All that's really got to happen now is take this off and put it on there. Make this a motorized bike. The way that this fork makes the geometry of the bike and the axis pivot, it has a little bit of, I want to say negative caster. Not 100% sure if I'm right there, but I believe it's negative caster, which is okay. It tracks nice and straight. As soon as you turn left or right though, it does want to go that way, but it doesn't change the, it does make the turning a little bit of grip. Like when I was taking the turns on like a gravelly area, you didn't hear a lot of like popping of little stones getting pinched from underneath the tire and flinging, you know what I mean, that sound? It was just rolling right through it. So I think honestly the way it sits on here makes it roll around turns better. Because I'm not putting my basket on here yet. I will be putting my basket on and the fuel tank in the back. So I'm going to be mounting the fuel tank on here like a regular stock motorized bike and switching the motor over, and that's about it, getting it running. I got last night, it was dark and I was tired. This was on these handlebars because these handlebars are from my red bike, and I was like, oh, I already got the brake lever on, let me hook the rear brakes up so I can really test it as a full, you know, front and rear brakes. This is the clutch handle. I was so tired last night, I didn't even realize, but I'm not gonna lie, I really like having the brake hooked up to the clutch handle, because for my hand, the clutch handle is really large. The regular brake, only 2 of my fingers fit on like a normal brake lever. This, I can get 3 fingers, 4 fingers if I leave the one up here on the, like here, sitting on the bridge. So like I grabbed it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a nice handle. I forgot how nice this handle. Well, it's a clutch handle. I'm an idiot and I hooked it up to the wrong thing. So I got to switch that out today and put the actual brake handle on. Other than that, we're ready to rock and roll. So I'll tune back in a little bit when I find something more fun to watch. All right, guys, I've been out here all day again. Well, not all day, a few hours though. The motor is now off of the black bike, and it's basically as it was. My new daily is all buttoned up and ready to go. I just got to put on gas line, put gas in, and that's it. It's ready to go, I think, at that point. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's it. But everything's hooked up, clutch is on and working. I might have to fine adjust that because it's got no play in it, so it might be spinning. I gotta check. Rear brakes are working, front brakes are working. They could be tightened a little bit, to be honest. Alright guys, before it gets too dark, I'm just gonna show it. It's running, but it is way too fat. I need to get a smaller jet. It is so freaking fat, man. Doesn't even want to rev up. I had to turn the idle in so far. It's just so fast. So as it revs up, you hear it. It's just like it's got too much fuel going in. But I just figured I'd show you guys. She's running and I'm loving it. I'm really loving the style of the frame with how it rides with the new forks and all that. I'll try to take you guys on a ride tomorrow. I got a long ride I got to make tomorrow regardless. So I'm going to end it off here. As always, thanks for watching. If you get a chance, please hit the like button. If you get a chance, hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you can see when I make another video. More than anything, please drop me a comment, say what's up, say how you doing, and if you get a chance, go to Facebook. I got a group over there for Johnny's Motorized Bicycles. It's a little easier to do than just the comment section. My messenger is linked to it, so you can direct message me and everything. So, thanks for watching, guys. I look forward to talking to you and seeing you in the next one. Peace.